Are Republicans in Wisconsin starting to see a bright side to Obamacare? When Washington passed that law, it promised all Americans affordable health care coverage. The plan was to get states to shoulder some of the cost, but the feds can't force states to help. And so in Wisconsin, Republican lawmakers, prompted by Governor Walker, are crafting a budget that allows the state's residents to take advantage of Obamacare without the state government having to do or spend anything in return. This allows the state to focus its medical assistance programs on the truly needy, those living below the poverty line, without the state going broke in the process.
For the first time in state history, we have a plan that provides access to Medicaid for everyone under the poverty line, and a means to obtain affordable, subsidized private insurance for everyone else. And I would point out, through the federal Obamacare exchange, that many of the folks on the other side of the aisle that are now criticizing, I'm sure supported.
This might sound simple, but it's a difficult maneuver to pull off politically. Washington is offering states some temporary funding to set up and run permanent programs. So even though this will cost states more in the long run, many politicians can't say no to a check from Washington.
For every dollar we send out to Washington, we get 80 cents back. And now what are we doing? Turning down a huge amount of money for Medicaid. I think that's shameful.
That's big money. I mean, just in this budget. Why would we just say, well, we don't know how long the federal government's going to do this, but I always, in my life, never leave any money on the table. And it seems to me we're sort of leaving some money on the table here that is there. Grab it while you can, and if it goes away later, then we have to make some serious changes.
The Republicans' plan is putting some Democrats in an awkward position. Representative Jon RICHARDS found himself arguing that Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is not capable of providing affordable care to the poor.
One of the things the governor talks about in the expansion plan you talked about is, well, have people go to the exchange and buy insurance. Well, what you fail to tell people is that the co-pays for that insurance can be as high as $2,000 for an individual and $4,000 for an adult.
Meanwhile, it has some Republicans, like former Representative Brett Davis, defending Obamacare.
There's a sliding scale for individuals to assist them with their premiums. So an individual at 100% of federal poverty level pays a maximum out-of-pocket cost of 2% of their household income. And then there's a sliding scale all the way up to 9.5% at 400% of the federal poverty level. So that's the premiums. Then there's also some cost-sharing reductions, that can assist individuals as well to make it affordable.
The idea of Republicans talking up Obamacare is so baffling, veteran Democrat Senator Bob WIRCH was still convinced they were criticizing it.
And then when we hear the negative comments about Obamacare, we had an election on November 6th. That was a key issue there. Guess what? Despite all the gerrymandering, you didn't win that election. Barack Obama won, and they won on Obamacare. So let's set the record straight on that.
Just to be clear, Senator, we are living under the past Obamacare law. I believe that is what we're discussing today, is the new law of the land and how it will affect our citizens.
For the McIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.